Hello friends, what if I told you that the greatest power you're searching for isn't out there somewhere, it's already inside you, burning quietly, waiting for you to claim it? Imagine waking up every day acting like that power is real, like your purpose is unstoppable, like nothing can break your spirit. When you begin to live as if that force is within you, everything changes: your confidence, your courage, your entire world shifts. Today, I'm here to remind you that the divine strength you need is not a future goal, it's your present reality. So, are you ready to stop waiting and start living that truth? You don't need to seek validation from the world when you've already been born with something eternal and unshakable within you. There's a power inside of you that doesn't need to be earned, learned, or negotiated for. It's already there, fully formed, fully ready, fully able. The problem is not the absence of power. The problem is that most people are too busy looking outside themselves for what has always been quietly burning within. Too many of us are waiting for the moment we feel ready, waiting for the day we feel enough, waiting for the permission that will never come because it was never needed in the first place. From the time we are young, we're taught to measure our worth by how the world sees us. Grades, looks, likes, status, success, they all become yardsticks for whether or not we're allowed to believe in our own value. But there comes a point in life when you have to look in the mirror and decide to stop outsourcing your power. You have to choose to stop begging the world to give you something it cannot believe. That has to come from you. That has to come from the fire inside you that was placed there for a reason. You don't need to earn your light. You are the light. You are not here to chase greatness. You're here to awaken it. It's not about striving to be something more, it's about remembering who you already are when all the noise falls away. The strength you've been searching for, it's the same strength that helped you survive your worst days. The same strength that carried you through heartbreak, through fear, through uncertainty, often silently, often without recognition. But it was always there, and it still is. When you begin to act as if that power lives inside of you, not someday, but now, everything shifts. You stop hesitating. You stop shrinking. You stop apologizing for your own existence. You begin to speak with clarity, walk with certainty, and make decisions that reflect your inner truth rather than the world's expectations. You start living with a boldness that doesn't need to be loud to be undeniable. It's not arrogance. It's alignment. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you were made on purpose, for a purpose. You stop trying to become and start being. Because when you act as if that presence, that knowing, that source of strength is already in you, then you no longer wait to feel worthy. You understand that your worth was never in question. You carry yourself differently. You no longer ask small questions like, am I good enough? You ask bigger ones like, what would I do if I already knew I was? And that's the key. Most people wait for evidence before they believe. But when you live like you already have the fire, the vision, the calling, that belief becomes the evidence. You don't need the world to tell you who you are when you've already decided. You don't need every door to open, you only need the courage to knock like you belong there. Because you do. You've always belonged. The fire inside you doesn't wait for applause. It doesn't stop when ignored. It doesn't dim when doubted. It burns quietly, patiently, until the day you finally act as if it's real. And then, everything changes. Because you've stopped waiting to become powerful and started living like you already are. Most people were not taught how to stand tall in their power, they were taught how to make themselves small enough to fit inside other people's expectations. From a young age, we're conditioned to stay within invisible lines. Don't speak too loudly, don't be too ambitious, don't take up too much space. We're told to be humble, but what they really mean is silent. We're told to be kind, but what they really expect is obedient. And over time, we learn how to shrink. We learn how to dim our brilliance so others don't feel threatened. We learn how to dilute our dreams so they fit neatly into the boxes the world finds comfortable. But you weren't born to fit in. You were born to transform. You were never meant to quietly fit the mold, you were meant to break it. There's nothing admirable about making yourself smaller to soothe someone else's insecurity. There's nothing noble about silencing your voice to maintain the illusion of harmony. Every time you shrink, you don't just rob yourself, you rob the world of what only you can offer. And no one else can deliver your purpose. No one else can embody your voice, your perspective, your fire. That's your job. And it's time to start doing it unapologetically. You've been trying to belong in spaces that were never built to hold the full weight of who you are. You've been walking into rooms trying to be accepted when you were meant to lead them. You don't need to adapt yourself to environments that are allergic to your power. Instead, you need to start seeing yourself as the one who shifts the energy in the room, not the one who conforms to it. Stop looking for approval in places that were never meant to see you fully. Start walking in with the certainty that your presence is not an accident. It's a message, and yes, it will make people uncomfortable. Greatness always does. The moment you stop playing small, you'll start attracting attention, some of it support, some of it resistance. Don't confuse resistance for a sign to quit. It's a sign you're finally visible. It's a sign that your energy is disrupting the status quo. And that's not something to fear. That's something to own. Start honoring your voice like it matters, because it does. Speak your truth, not for permission, but from power. Make decisions that reflect your worth, not your doubt. Take up space. Own your walk. Sit at the table like you built it, because your journey, your scars, your strength, your story, all of it is the foundation. When you understand that your presence carries weight, you stop apologizing for being too much. In fact, you realize you were never too much, you were just in rooms too small. So stop making yourself digestible. You're not here to be easy to swallow. You're here to be real, bold, complex. You're here to rattle cages, to make people think, to inspire, to challenge, to rise, not just for yourself, but so others watching you can believe it's possible for them too. Every time you walk into a room like you belong, you give permission to someone else to do the same. Every time you speak your truth without shrinking, you create space for someone else to stand in theirs. You don't need to become more. You need to unlearn the idea that you were ever anything less. And once you do that, once you stop shrinking to fit, you realize something powerful. The room was never the limit, your belief was. The ceiling is not above you, it's within you. And the moment you decide to stop editing your light to make others comfortable, the moment you walk like the leader you already are, the room changes. Because you changed. Because you stopped pretending to be small and started living like the force you've always been. Belief is a powerful thing. It shapes how we see the world, how we respond to challenges, and how we carry ourselves when no one is watching. Most people are taught to believe in something greater than themselves, to trust that there is a plan, a purpose, a presence guiding them. But rarely are we taught to believe that this greater power actually believes in us. And that changes everything. Because once you understand that you are not just reaching upward for faith, you are also being reached for your entire sense of self shifts. You begin to move differently. You begin to walk with a quiet authority, not because you have all the answers, but because you finally realize you were chosen to live out the question. Too often we see ourselves as small, as someone trying to get it right, trying to do enough, be enough, become enough. But what if you already were? What if you've already been given the vision, the voice, the strength, and the instincts, not by accident, but because you were trusted with them? What if the reason certain dreams won't leave you alone is because they were planted there on purpose, and the power behind that purpose is counting on you to follow through? The moment you stop seeing yourself as someone trying to earn favor, and instead start seeing yourself as someone carrying a divine assignment, your life begins to expand. You stop making decisions from fear and start moving from faith. Not just faith in something bigger, but faith that the bigger has invested in you. That you were built for exactly what you're walking through. That you weren't picked at random. You were picked with reason. Every time you doubt your own ability, every time you shrink yourself in the face of adversity, remember this: you've already been trusted with the storm, because you were built to withstand it. You've been trusted with the calling, because you carry the character required to fulfill it. You've been trusted with a dream that's scary and ambitious, because there is a knowing inside you that is greater than logic. That knowing doesn't need to make sense to everyone else. It only needs to be honored by you. People talk a lot about confidence, about mindset, about hustle, and all of those matter. But there is something even deeper, something stronger, something more unshakable than confidence. It's conviction. Conviction that you are backed. Conviction that you are worthy. Conviction that you have been seen, chosen, and empowered, not because of your perfection, but because of your potential. That kind of conviction doesn't wait for applause. It doesn't fade in rejection. It doesn't break when people don't believe in you, because it is rooted in the belief that something already does. Imagine walking into every room like you were sent there, like you were equipped before you arrived, like you carry something valuable that the room needs. That mindset changes not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. You stop performing. You stop competing. You stop trying to prove yourself and start being yourself, fully, boldly, without explanation. You were not created to question your every move. You were created to trust the whispers of your soul and follow them with fire. You were not made to beg for opportunity. You were made to recognize it and rise to it. You are not designed to fear the weight of responsibility. You are designed to carry it with grace, because the belief in you is bigger than the fear around you. The sooner you begin to believe that you are already believed in, the sooner your choices will reflect that truth. You'll stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start declaring, "I was made for this." That's not arrogance, that's alignment. That's what it looks like to live with a belief that doesn't start with you but flows through you. And when you operate from that place, everything becomes possible, because you're no longer waiting to be chosen. You've already been. Every action you take, every choice you make, is a reflection of what you truly believe deep inside. When you act as if the force within you is real and undeniable, your life itself becomes a living prayer. You don't have to say the words out loud to send a powerful message. Your presence, your energy, your consistent actions speak louder than any declaration. Life becomes the ultimate expression of faith, and your daily habits are the echoes of the values you hold most sacred. The way you move through the world, the way you treat others, the way you refuse to settle for less, all of it becomes the proof of the unseen power guiding you. Too often, people wait for perfect conditions, for clear signs, for external validation. Before they commit fully to their dreams, they hope for the perfect moment to take the first step, or the ideal circumstances to show up authentically. But the truth is, the moment is now. The conditions will never be perfect. The external world will never hand you a guarantee. What you have is this: your choice to act as if what you desire is already within your reach, already flowing through your veins, already shaping your destiny. When you live your life as a prayer in motion, your actions become the amen, the powerful conclusion to your intentions. The amen is not just a word of agreement. It is a declaration that what you asked for is already happening. It is the moment when you move from asking and hoping to doing and becoming. And this shift changes everything. Instead of waiting for answers, you become the answer. Instead of hoping for change, you become the catalyst for change. Your life then is no longer a passive experience but an active testimony. Every choice to show up boldly, every time you stand up when it would be easier to sit down, every moment you choose courage over comfort, becomes a chapter in the story of your faith in yourself and your purpose. You become a beacon for others who are searching, struggling, doubting. You show them that it's not about waiting for miracles, it's about becoming one. When you act as if the power within you is real, your words carry weight. You don't speak from fear or insecurity but from a place of deep knowing. Your conversations inspire others to rise, to believe, to push through their own limits. You don't just talk about dreams, you live them. You don't just teach faith, you embody it. People can feel that energy. It's magnetic, it's contagious, and it's transformational. This way of living demands consistency, discipline, and an unwavering belief that what you're doing matters. It means that even on days when doubt creeps in, or the path feels unclear, you keep moving forward. You keep praying with your feet, with your hands, with your heart. Because your life is your message, and your message is too important to keep silent. When you take responsibility for making your life the prayer, you also take responsibility for the impact you have on the world around you. You realize that your actions ripple beyond just your own story. They affect your community, your family, even strangers who witness your courage from afar. You understand that every moment of integrity, every act of kindness, every step toward your truth, contributes to a larger movement of hope and change. Living like this is not always easy. It requires showing up when it's inconvenient, choosing faith over fear, and being vulnerable in a world that often rewards toughness. But the reward is profound. A life that is full, purposeful, and aligned with something greater than yourself. A life that moves beyond the limits of circumstance and taps into the limitless power that already resides within. So every day, choose to act as if your life is the prayer, your actions the amen. Let your presence be a testament to your faith. Let your journey inspire others to believe that they too carry a force within that can move mountains, change narratives, and create miracles. Because when you live this way, your life becomes more than just existence, it becomes legacy.